I'm here together with Dion Hinchcliffe from the Duchess Group.
Thank you,
And we're here in the sunny Berlin in the it's called Enhau location,
right.
where also the Social Business Summit of the Duchess Group is taking place tomorrow. And you also just released a book, your first big
Yes.
comprehensive book about the social business design, or social business by design, together with Peter Kim. So this is here. Everybody is talking about it already over the net. And
We've been very lucky, yeah.
and just give us some insight. What's in the book?
Sure. So there's been a lot of great books written about social media and now how we apply it to our work, which is called Social Business. But we really felt there wasn't a book that was farther down the road, if you will. So we're no longer talking about the hype or the theory. A lot of organizations are now doing this strategically, and we wanted to tell that story and really make the business case for why organizations, if they haven't started down the road already, that they're probably quite a bit behind. And so we talk about major brands, major organizations that are achieving success stories. And we also saw that there really wasn't a book that covered all the different functions in a business that are affected by social. You know, Bjorn, and it's your focus as well. Enterprise 2.0 is a passion of mine, but it's really about workforce collaboration. And that's just one important and very integrated aspect of social business, which affects marketing and sales and product development and operations. So we wanted to create a book that caught us up on what happened so far, made the case for why it makes a very big difference in different parts of the organization, and then explore how businesses can get there. And I think a lot of practitioners will get value out of the book. I think anyone doing it, but I think it's really aimed for the decision makers in large companies who need to commit considerable resources to actually becoming real social businesses.
So you already explained it. The book got 3 chapters. One is you explain why there's no way around social. The second is it's a big groundwork collection of best practices.
Yes.
And from these groundwork, you're extracting some principles how to get there. So what are the big principles you're emphasizing in this last chapter?
So we try and instead of trying to derive theory up front, we try to extract what are the principles when social business works and it's particularly effective. What are the core ideas that seem to be at the heart of that? So throughout the book, we tell more and more stories to back up our points, but then we extract these, what we call these 10 fundamental tenets of social business. And the most fundamental one is anyone can participate. We find that when you have a collaborative process, when you have a business process, or you have even an initiative or a large-scale project inside your company, that the larger the audience that you tap into, right? The more innovation, the more different points of view, the more eyeballs, the more hands that you can apply towards solving that problem, the better the outcome. We see this, that organizations that open up collaboration until literally it hurts, see benefits that are much, much higher than organizations that just do it a little bit. So we've seen the McKinsey data shows that all organizations can achieve a 1% to 2% benefit doing these things, but that's not a good enough reason to do it strategically. Organizations that really truly let anyone participate in whatever it is when it's possible to do it can see double-digit percentage improvements in whatever it is that they're doing, and we want to help organizations get there.
But opening up in regards to the fields of activity where I'm opening up, you have to distinguish this, because opening up towards the market and in getting the customer in and helping me innovating new products, it's easier than opening up internally and really transforming the organization. Isn't there a big difference?
So we don't see there's much a difference as we thought that there was. So yes, most organizations, when they look at collaboration, they don't view it as opening up to the whole world. And often you only crowdsource inside your company. But we see the organizations that artificially limit participation, they limit their results. Dramatically so, actually. So while you do want to open up inside your organization as much as possible, when you also go outside to your supply chain and outside to your customers and even beyond them to the marketplace, you get much larger results. So, for example, social customer care. You can hire a call center full of people to collaborate with your customers and solve their problems. But when you connect your customers together, you get much better results than if you just connect your call center workers together with each other better. You want to do both, though. Both are very important to do.
So, but what would you derive from the best practices? What's the best way to do it? To go first externally and opening up, and then internally, or first drive the transformation internally and then go externally?
Well, I mean, and I know you're asking that question, having also spent a lot of time thinking about this yourself. You were showing me some of the thinking that you and your group has been doing. I was fairly impressed. I think that the answer is that it depends on your organization. I think a lot of organizations are doing both. They're really focusing internal, and separately they're focusing external. And what we're seeing them is they're starting to meet in the middle, because they realize they have an internal collaboration platform, an external collaboration platform, but they're usually different. And now they can't get the good stuff by connecting the two together. So one of the things that we really say, success means becoming more integrated in your social business thinking. You should not over-centralize. We see that as dangerous too. But there has to be some connection between the different applications of social business and how you do policy, procedures, governance, process redesign, and all in platform selection.
One big issue, what I always see within the forward-moving evolution of social business is that there's always an issue of language.
Yes.
That actually the social business technology has an impact on the whole company. There's no question on it, and it's got a cultural change or transformative character. But it's when we talk about social business, we always talk in social business language, and there are other parts where
well,
that
I think
should.
Some of us do, right? That's
yeah.
what the point is.
And now I think a lot of companies are at the stage that where other people, other parties of the company needs to get involved, like HR, like organizational development. They're speaking other languages. They mainly have already ideas going towards fluid network organizations and so on since years, but they don't have the means. And are we entering now this stage? And are you helping with your book also support this, this new integrative understanding of the problem, and that we really solve the problem now?
Well, I think we are creating our own silos when each different group applies social and then creates its own language, because we are creating a language around social business that I think is leaving a lot of people out of the conversation. So one of the things we were very cautious to do is make this a management book, approachable by a large number of people. When we had to use a language, we tend to prefer the emerging language of social business. But I do think the problem is we have a language for E2O, we have a language for marketing, we have a language for CRM, and it's a significant challenge in integrating all those points of view. And our point is we need to integrate those points of view before they go off too far in their own direction, because they cross over each other all the time, particularly when you get strategic value going.
So the Duchess Group is right now very much good settled in the market and the social business consulting sphere, and you've got a good overview about different stages of big companies all over the world. What would you say? What is the status? What is the state of? What is status at the moment? Where are we? Are we really at the top of the adoption and turning towards a transformation stage within the next year, or are we still have a long way to go?
Well, before I wrote the book, I would have said yes. Now I would say that the book really contains the 5%ers, the top 5% of the organizations that are achieving significant value. I think most companies are still finding their way and doing tactical experiments, trying to learn how this works, trying to build the competencies. And so I think we're going to see a lot of adoption. Social CRM is going to be big. I think broad adoption of social networks inside of companies is going to be very big over the next year. We certainly see social marketing is also, I mean, that's actually nearing early maturity, right? So that's farther ahead than everything. But what we really see is social CRM and E2O really now starting to come into their own. But but I still think it's early. It takes a long time for big companies to do this. I think that a year from now we'll say that maybe 5% will move to 10% in terms of organizations achieving strategic results in doing this.
In April or in March, I had an interview with Pyeong Chang from Broad Vision, and he said, well, social business, if in terms of a clock, we are only at 4 o'clock in the morning. Is that right?
Yes, I think the problem with those kinds of artificial measurements is it makes people think that they shouldn't do anything. And I think the message from the last year of experience that I've had, the message is clear to me that organizations are coming to us saying they feel surrounded by social, that they've got social in the sales team, often through Salesforce. They have things like social casting, Yammer. They have all the things that are happening out there with Facebook and Twitter. Internally, they have SharePoint. That even if they're not planning to do anything strategically, that the tactical is social is infusing everything they're doing such that they know they have to sort it out. I think that in terms of tactical, we're more at noon. In terms of strategic, I would agree we're probably still at 4 a.m.
Thank you for the interview.